Welcome to today's Member Spotlight, and I'm joined on the red chairs today by Mr. Simon Latta from Gilbert's Accounting. Simon, you've been a member for how many years now?
7 years
7
officially.
years officially? Yeah, so our BNI Achievers that meets on Wednesdays. So can you just maybe share with us the story of, how you ended up in BNI, because I think it's a great story.
I obviously was owner of Gilbert's Accounting for roughly about 7 years at that point. And networking or any marketing wasn't really my strong suit at the best of times. I had a pretty close friend who was in BNI and recommended I just come along to a meeting, see what it's about. That was back in the days of 2 chapters in North Adelaide.
Wow.
Met, I think.
A long time
ago. Attended, liked it. Went through the visitor orientation, obviously, which pretty unchanged from back then to now. Are you interested? Well, I was aware it was only one person per category, and it's like, you have an accountant, so they say, yes, but we'll get back to you. And the follow-up was that I was looking to expand at that point. I was located west, and so it was, okay, we're looking to open up a chapter out that way rather than centralised in the city, and went from there.
So you had to start your own chapter to get
Yes,
BNI.
officially, I'm officially ground zero, number 1 member of the BNI Achievers, I think. So
yeah, absolutely. So so BNI Achievers turned 7 not that long ago, which is pretty exciting. So in that time that you've been in BNI, what has been the most surprising thing that you've learnt or changed about yourself or your business?
That I can talk in public, at least to an extent. I am exceptionally shy. To the point back in high school, they tried to get me out of my shell. I have to communicate with clients, but you get to know these people and that. So open networking absolutely freaked me out. And the fact that you had to stand up and talk in front of people, not a comfort area I was sort of keen on. But you learn to communicate your needs. And you learn to listen. I was always a fairly good listener, but I always say to people, my BNI brain's turned on pretty much 24/7. So the second someone mentions I need, you suddenly, what does it mean?
We're programmed to help, aren't we?
How can we help? And that was the thing. That was one of the main reasons I joined. Was because clients would ask for things, or they'd mention things, and it's, it was like, oh, well, good luck finding something, or but having just a network that I can confidently say, I will see this person within 7 days, and I can talk to them about the situation, and I can touch base and make sure they're doing right by you. And I've used their services for the most part. That is the case for a lot of them, and that just builds that confidence with the client that they're going to be able to help. So the second someone mentions anything, be it clients, friends, friends of friends, I can say, oh, I know someone. Let me get you in touch.
Well, and the wider BNI network these days, so there's 160 members in Adelaide. And it's usually someone that we can trust.
And the improvements on searching through the websites, and find a member type of thing, has been really good the last few months.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I picked up on, funnily enough, I used to be painfully shy. That's how I got into hospitality. I tried to cure myself of being terrified of talking to human beings. So I class myself as an introvert, which means that I can people to a degree, and then I'm exhausted. So what would you say to other people who, like, the idea of talking to complete strangers terrifies them, but they own a business and they're trying to grow their business? What's your advice to them about visiting a BNI meeting, perhaps?
Well, they've obviously got to come in with the expectation that they're going to be surprised. There's been very few visitors that you ask how was the meeting where they don't say this was not what I expect. They really did not expect it to be what it is. So you get invited to a networking meeting and it's like, here's my business card, here's my business I'll never hear from them again,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So it sort of blows them away that the structure, the fact that we stick to the times that we promise.
Yeah. It's a big one, isn't it?
Oh, it's massive. Anytime you go over, even when I was president, it's like, I was 2 minutes over. I never wanted that to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
We promised this time, that's probably the key. Is like, okay, I didn't have to just throw my cards around the place.
And try and
I can hear everyone helping each other out.
Yeah.
Like even this morning's meeting, the mention was the camaraderie. So, and we are all looking out for each other.
Do you think that's a really valuable thing in business, having, a group of other business owners that are actually concerned and interested in how you're going?
Well, I mean, everyone's going to have hurdles. They're going to have their falls in life, which affects their business, and you just know that these people who you see every week, and they're business associates first and foremost. But at the end of the day, if you have a struggle and you need help, you know that they'll all come running to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we have that case at the moment. So.
Yeah, well, I think I remember, if I go back 5 years ago, when I was in the middle of getting divorced and had to get my house ready for sale, I had a working beat and I put it on my Facebook. And I had more members than I had family and friends who turned up on their weekend in 40-degree heat to paint the hallways and weed the garden and stuff like that. And I think with COVID-19 as it stands now, and lots of people in business really struggling, it's really shown me the power of that business community, watching everyone actively keep in touch with each other and look out for each other. Yeah, I mean, the vast majority of BNI members don't look out for number one. They say, right, how can I help you? Knowing that it's the whole giver's gain thing. Yeah.
It will come back. Karma will come back and reward them for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's how it works.
So if you were giving some advice to a brand new member, because we've had a lot of new members joining in the last couple of months, what's the best piece of advice that you wish someone had given you in your first 12 months?
Don't be too afraid to have the one-to-ones.
Yeah.
I think that's, again, the shyness kicked in. It's like, I've got to talk to someone. And, I have a T-shirt that says "People, not a big fan," because it's like,
cool.
I can't people today or whatever. Yeah. But the best way to find out what someone wants isn't in the referral request.
Yeah.
And even the open networking isn't enough for that. It's really getting into knowing, the person one-to-one, communicating that. So it's definitely just make sure you try your best to have the one-to-ones, which lead to the referrals, which leads to the close. It's a fairly much a through line of one will lead to the next to the next. And CEUs, they're really no-brainer, but I think the one-to-ones are the key element.
Yeah, absolutely. I think too, the best advice I ever got given when I first joined was that the real business doesn't happen during the meeting. So it really does. It happens. So your BNI membership starts at 8:31 on the day of your meeting, which is when the meeting's finished, and stops again at 7 a.m. when your meeting starts, because really it's that whole rest of the week where you're doing business development. You've got to work on your business and growing your business anyway. So it's much easier to have those meetings with someone that actively wants to find referrals for you, so that they can open those doors. So I think you're right. It's important. I mean,
I had the one-to-one with Rosanna after the meeting, and we discussed mutual clients, which was handy. And one of those things was this client's looking to transition to another entity.
Yeah.
So I will do this, this, and this. So it's just so you're aware, you'll get an invite for a new zero subscription and all that kind of stuff. So, but to make her aware of it, that was my way of conveying. I'd like you to be as prepared as I'm going to be.
Yeah,
exactly. These kind of things. So, a heads up never hurts. So the communication's got to be there, and one-to-ones is a great way to help with that.
So if you were talking to another accountant that wanted to grow their business and found themselves locked out of all of the other chapters, what would you suggest that they do?
If they are really super keen to grow their business and know that their business will grow, I mean, I get 15% plus if my fees are BNI related.
Yeah, cool.
Then they may have to put in some hard yards, but it will be worth it.
Yeah.
I always say if there's someone coming into a current chapter, it will take a little while to obviously build that trust.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is, again, the ones lead to the trust.
Yeah.
Because you communicate things and you get to know people, but you're not going to get referrals from day one.
No. Well, and I think, one of the things that I always say to brand new members, and I think it's a bit of a myth outside of BNI, when people come and visit a BNI chapter, they think that we are immediately going to refer everybody in the chapter just because.
Yeah.
And it's not how it works. You have to get to know them, know and trust them, because your reputation is what you hang your hat on, and vice versa.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than giving a referral and it doesn't get followed up.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah.
And that's the advantage in BNI, is we're held to that code of ethics. So we can trust that it will get followed up, and we'll be seeing that person in 7 days, like you said, to see how it went. So, being able to look after our clients that way is a really valuable asset too, I think.
That's right.
Well, Simon, thank you very much for joining me on the red chairs.
Yeah.
If you want to go visit Simon, he's at BNI Achievers, and I'm sure he would love to host you as his guest. You'll find a link to their meeting in the comments below the video, and thanks very much.